The situation grew tense as Issa's suspicion began to sharpen into an accusation. She turned toward Leon, her voice dropping into a threatening register as she remarked that she hadn't expected her brother-in-law to be such a formidable hidden master. She added that her sister, Rosweiss, had previously described Leon as a pathetically weak dragon, incapable of any real feat, so fragile that he had supposedly fallen into a coma barely a month after the wedding. Now, seeing Leon standing before her with such undeniable power, Issa openly questioned whether he could be trusted at all. Realizing the danger, Leon tried to laugh it off, giving a cheerful thumbs up and claiming his recovery was all thanks to a steady intake of dragon kidney treasure supplements. Rosweiss, sensing the threat, jumped in to defend him, playing the part of a devoted wife by insisting that through her meticulous care and love, he was now bursting with energy. However, Issa was not so easily deceived. She pointed out the sheer impossibility of their story. Even if a common dragon from a lowly clan consumed every supplement in existence, he still wouldn't possess the power to slay a dragon king like Constantine. Leon felt the walls closing in, knowing his secret as a legendary dragonslayer was on the verge of being exposed. Despite his complicated history with Rosweiss, he knew the truth would be a fatal blow to their family. He looked at Issa, wondering if a pure-blooded dragon like her could ever accept what he truly was. His gaze shifted to his daughters, Muin and Noah, and fear gripped him. Fear of how they would handle the realization that they weren't pure dragons, but hybrids. Most terrifyingly, he imagined them being hunted, forever subjected to the humiliation and insults of both dragons and humans. Haunted by this dark scenario, Leon resolved that no one could ever be allowed to learn the truth. To finally dispel Issa's doubts, Leon suddenly shouted, "This has actually been my childhood dream." Striking a confident pose, he began weaving a dramatic tale of how he had always yearned for such a beautiful married life. To fulfill this dream, he claimed to have traveled the world, crossing mountains and rivers, until finally, while lost in the darkness, he met her. He grabbed Rosweiss's hands and loudly declared that she was the one who rescued him and gave him the warmth of a home, vowing to protect her forever. Rosweiss was so shocked by his over-the-top acting that she felt physically nauseated, despite not being pregnant for a long time. Muin and Noah watched with wide eyes. Muin asked if Dad loved Mom since childhood, but Noah corrected her, saying he just meant Mom was exactly his type. Issa clapped slowly, seemingly touched by this destined tale, though she quickly interrupted to remind him she asked about his background, not their romance. Leon, undeterred, insisted the answer was hidden in that story. To keep his promise to protect Rosweiss, he had desperately sought power through untold hardships. Clutching his heart dramatically, he proclaimed that all the pain was worth it, because today he truly managed to protect his wife and daughters. Leon continued his speech while looking at his wife and newborn daughter, stating that all the pain was worth it to keep them safe. Rosweiss stepped in to support him, assuring her sister that Leon had no secrets from her and was entirely devoted to the family. Faced with their united front, Issa sighed and relented, admitting that further questioning would be rude given their obvious harmony. She conceded that Leon was at least serious about fulfilling his promises. When she turned to him, Leon merely gave a playful smirk and declared that a man must never deserve to be mistrusted. Watching their conversation from the side, Rosweiss thought about how Leon, despite being the strongest dragon-slaying hero, often displayed a childish and immature side that seemed completely at odds with his reputation. Yet she felt that perhaps it was precisely because of these small flaws that he seemed more real, and that made her feel calmer. Rosweiss pulled her daughter closer and closed her eyes, thinking to herself what a bliss it was to have a loving husband and children. Muin and Noah, seeing that their mother had fallen asleep, began to hiss at Leon and Issa, whispering, "Shh, Mama's asleep. Why are you two talking so loudly?" Issa turned to the girls and spoke in a soft voice. All right, let's not bother Mama while she's resting. Auntie is hungry. Let's go find something for Auntie to eat." Before leaving, Issa turned back to Leon and added, "Then you should have a good rest as well." After she left with the children, the atmosphere finally softened, giving way to a true domestic peace. Leon exhaled a long breath of relief, wiping sweat from his brow. He muttered to himself that hiding the truth felt more exhausting than being on a battlefield. Exhausted, he decided to sleep for a while longer and climbed back into bed beside Rosweiss and their baby. After a while, golden rays of sun streamed through the window, illuminating their peaceful sleep. But unexpectedly, Rosweiss woke up and saw the sleeping Leon right in front of her. Rosweiss felt a sudden urge to touch his face, her hand reaching out as she playfully whispered, "I want to give you a dragon tail so badly." But Leon, half asleep, blurted out, "I want to cut off your dragon tail." Rosweiss jumped back, her face flushing bright red with embarrassment. "Wait, so you weren't actually sleeping?" she stammered. Leon smirked. He had woken up the very moment her hand brushed against him. Their playful bickering continued as Leon teased her for watching him, and though she denied it and claimed she was only looking at their daughter, the blush on her cheeks told a different story. Moving past their romantic spat, Rosweiss turned serious. "You almost got caught today," she told Leon. "My sister came dangerously close to figuring out your real identity." Leon sat up, his expression turning grim. He agreed that her sister almost found out he was human, but noted that Constantine, the dragon king he had fought, definitely knew his true identity. Rosweiss was shocked, asking if they had met before. Leon explained that while he had fought the Red Flame Dragon tribe on the battlefield, he had never personally met Constantine. Furthermore, he had used a disguise on his armor, making it theoretically impossible to be recognized. Yet Constantine had not only seen through his human status, but had accurately called out his name and title. Since the dragon was now dead, the source of that information remained a haunting mystery. Rosweiss began to reflect on the situation deeply, feeling that something was amiss. It seemed strange to her whether Constantine's knowledge was related to the dragon's unusual movements over the past year, or if a much deeper conspiracy was involved. She recalled the secret pact she had made with Leon's master, the specific promise that Leon would not be allowed to return to the Empire within a year. She stared intently at him, her mind racing, as she wondered if that agreement was somehow the key to this mystery, and whether or not the time had finally come to tell Leon the truth about it.